Mr. Black, how many people have you killed this year?
6.
None? Fantastic. How many people has this cigarette killed? About 400,000 annually. We inhabit a society where drugs hold more double standards than present-day gender controversies. When we have a headache, we are instructed to take a drug. When we have a stomachache, we take a different drug. When we need to shift the chemistry of our bodies to cope with ailments such as depression or schizophrenia, there is also a drug for that. The fact of the matter is that our society has fabricated a clear line between which drugs are acceptable to use and which ones are not. Both legal and illegal drugs can and have been abused, and like illegal narcotics, overdosing on widely accepted substances such as tobacco can lead to death. As an avid supplement researcher and criminal justice major with intent to seek employment within the DEA, I feel obligated to present my opinion against current laws dealing with illegal substance abuse. The enemy is not drugs. The enemy is human nature, and the offense is a practice of personal liberty. Today, I will persuade you all to accept illegal narcotic use in our society today. By the end of my speech, I would like to have communicated the ineffectiveness of current drug laws, the unnecessary losses accumulated in the drug war, and how our society could benefit from legalization of such said substances. What have we learned from our nation's 18th Amendment? Who knows what the 18th Amendment is here? Nobody? Okay. For those of you not knowledgeable in our nation's constitution, the 18th Amendment was responsible for the nationwide prohibition of alcohol. What happened to this lucrative attempt to bar personal liberty? The answer is the 21st Amendment, which repealed prohibition. Prohibition did not work. Mark Thornton claims, although consumption of alcohol fell at the beginning of prohibition, it subsequently increased. Alcohol became more dangerous to consume, crime increased and became organized, and the court and prison systems were stretched to the breaking point. Does this sound familiar? There is direct correlation with how prohibition progressed and how the war on drugs is progressing now. A direct example could be modern cartels playing the part of organized crime. Here's what America learned from prohibition. Again, it did not work. American author Mark Twain once said as follows: "When men want drink, they'll have it in spite of all the laws ever passed. The front door is closed, the back is open. Instead of open, honest drinking, you have sly boozing." Who other than Mark Twain to describe the circumstances of drug use today? The current laws prohibiting drugs are ineffective because they contradict human nature. The similarities between the two issues allows us to formulate a logical prediction on how the drug conflict will progress. Like alcohol consumers, drug users utilize the substance for escape purposes and eventually become addicted. It is human nature to seek means of escape. Drug laws do not prohibit drug use, they only force it behind closed doors. Aside from protecting ineffective laws, the war on drugs is an intensifying financial burden. Let's talk money. According to Douglas McVeigh, the amount spent annually in the U.S. on the war on drugs is more than $51 billion. This is an incredibly large amount of money that could be used for public benefit. Also, according to McVeigh, the number of Americans incarcerated in 2012 in federal, state, local prisons and jails was 2,228,400 for drug offenses. Let's look at that statistic a little bit closer. One prisoner can cost taxpayers $31,000 a year. Now, imagine if 2,228,400 prisoners were to go to jail. That would cost taxpayers annually $69,717,722,400. Meanwhile, money is being taken from education to finance the cost of maintaining current drug laws. The monetary figure has obviously increased since 2012, and beyond money, the number of people killed in Mexico's drug war since 2006 is above 70,000. People are literally dropping by the thousands over laws that are more malicious than benign. When presented with such figures, the situation becomes far more drastic in your head. These monetary and human losses can be avoided by changing the current drug position in our country. If illegal narcotics were accepted in our society, like alcohol and tobacco, the government could financially benefit from it rather than spending on it. We could put a special tax on drugs just like alcohol. For example, merely taxing the sale of marijuana would make the state of California a $1 billion